hero to make a market. Some people got a hero to make food. Your hero is your hero. My hero is my hero. My hero, now 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 my hero. Yes, they're gonna be so. Wanna go to we are. You got that mallet, DJ. That was simple. See your best. To be up and down in the street. Some people here to pay the sign of me. I got my hero, it's music hero. Oh God, I say, now my hero, now my hero, now my hero, yeah, now my hero, yeah, now my hero, yeah, now my hero. Now my hero, yeah, now my hero, now my hero, yeah, now my hero. Yes, I'm telling you today. Time for other men and their life. Go down, Wasa, Cllr, volleyball, Cllr. Senator, Cllr. Representative Child Marshal, Cllr. Oh God, no. Now my hero, 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 now my hero. Now my hero, yes, now my hero. Some got a hero to make market. Some got a hero to be up and down. Some hero to cast it by people. Some people hero to be selling market. All the people hero to be up and down Broad Street. Now my hero, now my hero, now my hero, now my hero. Some people hero to me police. Some people hero to sell their market. Some people hero to up and down. Some people hero to go. That I hero. That I hero. Hey, God. Everybody got a hero here. Look at down Wallace, volleyball. Just go to OJ. OJ guy, you know, hero. The better. Ooh la la! Your hero Some people here to be up and down in the streets. Some people here to be continental. She era is to produce music. I bring it to era to produce music. Amen. Every Johnson. And I will. Male. Oh, tell you I say era to be. Oh, scream at it and lie. Yeah, busy. Oh, tell you I see ya. Male. Mavigata. She ain't kissing it. And I will. I hero. Now my hero. Yeah, now my hero. Now my hero. Yeah, now my hero. Yeah, now my hero. Yeah, now my hero. Now my hero. Yeah, now my hero. Now my hero. Yeah, now my hero.
Easy kid. Thank you, my man. Yeah, you.
I don't care if you take her slim, baby, just move her back. I don't care what they're talking about you tonight, just do what you do. Keep on doing what you do, don't let nobody hold you down. Baby, me feel the things that you do.
Ah, lucky boy.
One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. I like a lot of things on my mind, I don't know what to do. Plenty in my head, I don't know what you want to do. Baby, I want drink, I want go in the room there. Today, you know that me and you, so we east side. Freestyle, east side, richer. Today, me and you, power, we east side. Una. I want to your una, I want to put your finger. Una. I want to your una, I want to be your una. Go down low, and touch your toe. I won't let go, baby. Break up for me. Me feel you, baby. Love you. One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. I want to see you. One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. I want to see you down like you're bending for prayer. I want to see you down like scratching your legs. The kind of thing you do in my mind, the thing you do into net. The other days you do it, I want to take all my share. They making me the sweat, man, you the best. How will you do, till I say give me more fire, go fear no fire. Place upon me, get up, pray you don't tire. Give me more fire, go fear no fire. Put upon me, get up, pray you don't tire. Hit the man, go like my shorty. That beat blow, I will see you rock your body. Hit the man, go, that's my shorty. You too nasty, your body lovely. One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. I won't know for the things that you doing if it costs in the morning. I won't know the thing that you doing where it lasts till the morning time. I won't know the thing that you doing if it costs in the morning. I won't know the thing that you doing where it lasts till the morning time. Are you ready? Go down, baby. I like to see you want when you step on the beat. Sit, I make you stand on your feet. And you getting legendary, you even won't call for sleep. I make it dance, you rocking it. Don't show all your style because I'm watching it. Shake your ball when you fall, baby, I grabbing it. To never me and you, the two we locking it. Higher but that. One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. Shit. One slow, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. Once more, go down, baby. Break your back, I won't go there, baby. Hit the man, go like my shorty. I be blow, I will see you rock your body. Hit the man, go, that's my shorty. You too nasty, your body love.
All right, thank you very much for coming back here again. This is Monday. I'm expecting Councillor Tiawan Gongloe to be here. He's a busy man, and I will expect that he'll be busy. If he doesn't come, we can bring him tomorrow. We want to talk about the election that just took place on the 16th of September, where he was elected the Standardbearer of the Liberian People's Party. Now he is a candidate, not an aspirant. So Councillor Gongloe will come for us to talk about that. And also we want to talk about, we are expected to be live in Nimba County. I'm trying to get to my contact there, really. Is trying to see how we can be live in Gompa City through the voice of Gompa. And hopefully if we become alive, I'll let you know. We're still working on that. I hope the folks in Ganta are ready for our live broadcast. And today we will be talking about some of the things that, first of all, I want to speak to a video that has been circulating on Facebook, on social media, about George Weah, about Nimba people, about Grand Gedeh people. This video is so the way it is the way it is prepared. Let me tell you something. For those of you who don't know, you can take someone who is broadcasting, you can use their video, you mute it, and you write what you want to write, you put it in a software, and the software will bring out the voice. Any kind of voice you want, it can bring out the voice you want, and that voice you can just overlay. You can just overlay the video. So some can be really, really, really correct. Some can be actually, it can be real. It can look very, very real. So I was in something. My wife showed me that video. The first thing that came out of me was, I told her, this video is not real. And she said, what? I didn't see the man mouth is moving right. I said, no, this video is not real. But not only that the video was not real, the information that was relayed in the video is not possible. Okay? You can say all the things you want to say about George Weah. That's fine. But if you claim that George Weah is trying to arm people of Nimba to go to destabilize Grand Gedeh, I can tell you straight up that it's not true. And if you talk about, now the funny thing is, in the same vein, that is talking about George Weah arming Nimbayans to go and destabilize Grand Gedeh, it is also saying that George Weah is arming Grand Gedeh to destabilize the country. I don't know how that can happen. While the Nimbayans are going to destabilize Grand Gedeh, then they are coming to destabilize the country. So George Weah is doing everything to cheat, and just in case if he doesn't win, he put it together armed men or former warlords to fight his battle. He is to give Nimbayans, he's mobilizing gun to give it to Nimbayans to go and kill Grand Gedeh, to destabilize Grand Gedeh. At the same time, he mobilizing Grand Gedeh to go and destabilize the country. It just looks stupid. So let me just tell you something. If you are in Nimba and you are listening to me, if you are from Nimba and you are listening to me, I don't want you to take that video serious. That video is not serious. It's a make-up. Somebody who wants to, for us, we in the Gongloe camp will not do something like that, because our politics will be real. We want to tell you exactly what we're going to do. We want to make sure we work for it. We want to make sure we work at it, not creating stupid videos with the hope of trying to destroy George Weah, and then you mess the whole thing up. I mean, if you're just going to stop to where they say George Weah was, how you call the thing, if George Weah was mobilizing warlords to make sure that he cheated to win, If I just start there, short video, that trust me, everybody are going to fall for it. But then they started to go, oh, Joshua is giving gun to Nimbayans to go and destabilize Grand Gedeh, and Grand Gedeans have been mobilized to destabilize the country. How? So when Nimba went to destabilize Grand Gedeh, then Grand Gedeh look for that they can't destabilize the country. That was not a smart video. That was not a smart video at all. And I don't want you to give it credence. I don't want you to be very stupid for anybody to do that. So if you are from Nimba, trust me, Grand Gedeh don't think you're going to destabilize it. Grand Gedeh don't think you're going to destabilize it. That's for sure. Okay. And from Grand Gedeh, if you are listening, you are from Grand Gedeh, don't take this video serious. Let's tell the Liberian people that no, Grand Gedeh is not interested in destabilizing anybody. Grand Gedeh is not interested in destabilizing anybody. And I read a statement by one of our prominent Grand Gedeh, Tiawan Collins. Tiawan Collins wrote a very nice piece, very nice statement, and published it. I read it, and the statement says, in effect, the statement said that Grand Gedeh, they wanted to show the people of Liberia that the video going around is not authentic, it's not a serious video, and he was urging them to remember that Grand Gedeh will never do anything to destabilize the country. But why Grand Gedeh will destabilize the country? Well, for what? What are they fighting for? They didn't get presidential candidate. Yeah, they didn't get presidential candidate. Who they going for? The men who they supported during the war, the men are president. So who they going for? Yeah, those so stupid. I mean, I don't know why some people, you can be smart. You don't want to do the thing your eyes call. We the media people would know how to read. I can read a script for you. I give it to you. You can do what you want to do it, but it's not going to be that way. It's going to be authentic. If people hear, they will feel that something professional is happening. But Grand Gedeh go destabilize the country for what? On what ground? I'll be the first person to take arm against Grand Gedeh if they try that. What are you talking about? Grand Gedeh don't even get time for that now. They ain't even get time for it. So look, all of you who are listening, that video on Facebook, don't even regard it. It's not true. It's not true at all. It has nothing to do with us. And yeah, really, I know that gives. Thank you. I'll say the ANC folks. I believe so. I don't want to call them because I'm a serious. I'm the chairman for the media committee. Anything I say, they'll say that the policy of the party. No, I'm not. But ANC, the ANC folks, let's stop it. Y'all want to do it? Y'all tell me. I will write a script for you nicely. I mean, when somebody hears it, they'll say, "Wow." They'll believe. But you mix everything up. Let's see what Grand Gedeh going to destabilize country for. What? How? They ain't get presidential candidate. They are not vice presidential candidate for anybody. For anybody political party or for any party Standardbearer. The man who is voted for 3 years, the man's president. So they went for who now? They went for the man who they elected? Or what? Or George Weah, when George Weah lose, then Grand Gedeh go take gun for George Weah. You believe that? Grand Gedeh will never take gun for George Weah. Let me tell you now. Now when we are alive, nobody from Grand Gedeh will take gun for George Weah. George Weah lose, you go sit down. Sit down. And you will lose. You will lose. Okay. So, let me come to one of the issues I wanted to discuss today. I heard in the grapevine, officially I've not been told. I heard the grapevine, officially I've not been told that George Weah is maneuvering since we started to hold George Weah accountable for his disregard of Grand Gedeh. He has been maneuvering to see how he can mitigate those issues. People in Grand Gedeh are not crazy people. People in Grand Gedeh are not crazy people. The people, first of all, they show their love. Grand Gedeans have proving to Joshua that they love him. The first time they did it, they voted unanimously, overwhelmingly. Oh, Joshua, we love you. You are Samuel Dawson. We love you. They voted for him overwhelmingly. The second time, 2011, nobody came close to Joshua in Nimba County. Nobody came close to Joshua in Grand Gedeh County. Sorry, they voted overwhelmingly for Joshua. The third time, they voted overwhelmingly for Joshua. So there's nothing Grand Gedeans have to prove again to Joshua that they love him. There's nothing that Grand Gedeans can President we are to show to him that they love him. They have done everything they want to do to show that they love him. There's nothing left anymore. You have shown your love, Grand Gedeans. And on Friday and Saturday, we hammer this. So since we've been talking about George Weah and his action against Grand Gedeh, his lackadaisical attitude against Grand Gedeh, his treatment of Grand Gedeh with disdain. You know that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf treated Grand Gedeh better than George Weah. That's what you don't know. Even though I did not like Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, I can tell you, even though I did not like Ellen Johnson Sirleaf because of her actions or sponsoring wars, instigating wars, participating in wars, just because she wanted to be president of Liberia. So I don't like that kind of attitude. I don't like her for that. Well, but she did more. She did more. Joe.
Yeah.
I'm on the air, though.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna send you the link.
That's right. Today?
Yeah, he told me he was going to come, but I'm trying to get him to see if he's coming. So he's not here yet, but he will be appearing today.
Oh.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm a little bit tired of so.
Yeah, I think so. But I sent you the link. You can come.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Oh. Okay. So George Weah is maneuvering now to see how he can mitigate that and trying to God, I'm told one of my friends, one of my good brothers, Arthur Dweyu might be going somewhere as either ambassador proper or assistant ambassador or charge affairs or something. I don't know the details. But we cannot forget the fact that what Ellen has done for Grand Gedeh, who show her hatred for Grand Gedeh. The woman show her hatred for Grand Gedeh. But she has done more than any president has done for Grand Gedeh. Not even Samuel Doe. Ellen did more in Grand Gedeh than George Weah can even think of doing. Because in my village, Ellen built a school. While we're trying to collect money here to go and build, to build a school, Ellen has already built a school in Grand Gedeh. See? So it's not like it's not like we hate Ellen and Ellen is doing more, but George Weah, who we didn't hate, he doesn't care a fig about us. He never cared, he will not care. This is the man we call Samuel Doe's son. Samuel Doe's son. And Grand Gedeh, you are listening. Samuel Doe's son. Call him Samuel Doe's son. How is he Samuel Doe's son? I saw something. President Weah will be speaking tomorrow at the UN. No, on Thursday. Sorry, on Thursday he will be speaking on Thursday at the UN, and we're going to see what he's going to say. We analyze what he's going to say, and A lot of government officials came along with him. So he's preparing for the UN speech. We'll see what he says about, especially about the corruption in his government. How does he respond to the corruption in his government? What does he tell the international community? Because if you come to the international body to make a speech and you want them to listen to get their ears, for them to come and assist you, and if they have any assistance for your country, any way that they can collaborate with your country, you have to show that you are credible enough. You have to show that your government can maintain rule of law, financial probity, and all of these things. If you can't do all of these things, if people are stealing left and right in your government, you don't expect other governments to come. There'll be no need to help you. You will be just they'll just be giving money to you, and you will be allowing people to steal it. Like what is happening now in the we administration. It is unfortunate that we continue to say this, and I'm hoping that the US government will land more sanctions wherever they see it fit. Because we didn't tell the UN, I didn't tell the US government to do that, the Treasury Department to sanction those 3 government officials. You didn't tell them to do that. We know what they did. We know how they get their information. They won't tell us. But hey, how about they do it more? How about they sanction more people? How about they go very close to George Weah himself? We need to know, because all the allegations about Magay, because Magay is not there now. So everybody talking everything about Magay now. Magay is a boogeyman now. The president said happy that Magay gone. No, the president is not happy that Magay is gone. The president is running away from trouble. He does not want Magay to come close to him now, because he knows when Magay comes close to him, he may be snared. He may be involved. He may be accused of align himself with criminals or with corrupt officials. So you're trying to push Magay away now. Magay should do everything for him. Everything that Magay did in our office, George Weah is aware of it. How can anybody think that George Weah is not aware of the corruption that Magay was carrying out? Even Bill Tuare, all that money he took from the Freeport of Monrovia, and he was quote unquote distributing. You think the man would distribute money to other people when George Weah had not first seen him getting his own? Who will ever deceive you and say George Weah did not know about Bill Tuare corruption? Are you kidding? Before Bill Tuare get a dime to any government officials, before Bill Tuare does anything, he will first give George Weah own. George Weah own eating will come from there first. That's how government works. That's what they do. That's how corrupt governors work. I mean, corrupt governors, that's how they do their job. That's how they work. They get their fingers planted in all the agencies. You got to pay certain dues to them. So they say somebody paid Magay due to Magay. You think George will say Magay, let people pay directly to me? They will not. Oh look, you want to call your send it to Magay, Magay will bring it to me. NPA. Every month, any money you get, make sure you send 500,000 or 250,000 to Magay. Just give it to Magay, he will give it to me. George ain't got to take money himself. So Magay was the sacrificial lamb, my people. That the real sacrificial lamb we've been talking about that either. So Magay now is out. Everybody now is using Magay as a stepping stone. And somebody came to my office and said, well, Gibson, you don't see that George Weah was really waiting to get away from Magay? Who told you that? George Weah was never getting away from Magay. There's nothing that George Weah wanted more than Magay. Magay was his left hand, was his right hand, was his left foot, his right foot, his left eye, his right eye, his mouth, his left ear, his right ear. Magay was George Weah's brain. Magay was everything was George Weah. So I heard I heard that the people say the VP is going to Grand Gedeh because Maggie was there. Maggie was blacking her. Now Maggie not there. The woman is free now to wear. Who told you that? Who told you? I agree. That's some people, when you chief of staff, there's sometimes you will not be able to allow some people, and Maggie was doing it too much, maybe. But the VP was disrespected. The VP right now, what the VP is doing is a catch. It's a political catch up. That's what she's doing now. She don't want to be disgraced. She don't want to be seen as an anti-Weah person because she's already vice president. So she just forced to now go and campaign for George Weah. If that woman was no longer vice president and you gave to and then sit and say you want to go campaign for George Weah, she will tell you she'll put you out of her house. They put disrespected the woman throughout. It was not just Maggie. The finance minister, when she make any request, they refuse. You know why they refuse? Because George Weah said they should refuse. There's no finance minister who will refuse a vice presidential request. Yes, don't give it to her. Listen to me. The way government operates, some of you just sit down and just assume that these things are happening by the people who are doing it by themselves. No finance minister who received a request from the vice president of the republic will tell the finance minister, will tell the vice president no, or we cannot do it, no way, or delay. They will not do that. Except the president is there, because when they receive that kind of request, when Samuel 12 received a request from the vice president office, vice president make a request of vehicle, office funding, all of that. The first thing Samuel 12 would do is to pass it by the president. Oh, President, I received a request from the VP office. Oh, what she say? VP said she want additional car. She want this or she want that. She already got one bulletproof car. She's going to give her one more. The president knows she need it. Forget it. When she ready, she'll come to me. She would let me know. And that's it. The finance minister will find all kind of way not to even allow the VP and her and him to come in the same room. Or if they come in the same room, there's no discussion about anything. And if anything she says, you always find an excuse. So all of these things they put talking about, after George Weah disrespected Joel Howard Taylor, now he wants to use Joel Howard Taylor to go and campaign. I will be talking in Grand Gedeh tomorrow. She'll be in Grand Gedeh on Thursday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And I hope she'll be in the town when I talk to Grand Gedehs. And I'm going to tell them, they should respect her all the way. I respect the VP as a woman and an enterprising woman, fine. I respect her. So we from Grand Gedeh, we respect our women. Therefore, we respect her. But we're not going to listen to her. She got no new message to tell Grand Gedehs. She got no new message to tell Grand Gedehs about George Weah. She ain't the person. She's not even the person to go and tell us about George Weah. She's not the one. George Weah is sending her in front to soften the ground because he has abandoned Grand Gedeh forever. He didn't care about Grand Gedehs. So you want to go and soften the ground for her to soften the ground before he goes there? No, Grand Gedehs understand the politics. We will make sure that George Weah, if he gets 5 votes in Grand Gedeh, he must sweat for it. And we are all going down to campaign. We are about 17 prominent Grand Gedeh that I know that we are going down. We're not going to leave. We're not going to be here. Okay? And very soon, we're going to have the office of Team Gongloe, Grand Gedeh for Gongloe. Very soon, those of you who are in Zwedru, we'll talk about that on Friday and Saturday. Those of you who are in Zwedru, we are going to have the Grand Gedeh for Gongloe central office in Zwedru. We're going to make sure that office represents our name. We're going to make sure that everything we'll do on our house, it makes the impact that we want to make. And when Councilor Gongloe goes to Zwedru, if he goes to Zwedru, he will have an office to be in. Okay? I'm thinking about making one room there for the president. to fix it for the president, so that when the president go to Grand Gedeh, he does not have to go to the hotel. He sleeps right in his own office there. Or maybe you'll be too, everybody will be coming, you will not sleep. Somebody will say, oh, but the president will be too busy. People is sleeping all that, people will just be going, coming, and security reason and all of that. So maybe you go to the hotel to sleep, but we're trying to make sure very soon we'll show you the pictures of the office. Okay, we already have the pictures of how the house look like, but it needs to be worked on a little bit so that it can represent, and we'll do that. Okay, now let's talk about the man who we are going to support, Councillor Gongloe. And those of you who were in Banga on the 16th, on the 15th, and the 16th, that made sure that Councillor Gongloe became the candidate for the Liberian People's Party. We want to say thank you to all of you. We appreciate your votes, and we know that you know good thing. We really would not have done that. So thank you very much. Councillor Gongloe is now officially a candidate. So he's no longer an aspirant. So if you were sitting on the fence to say, well, I'm not going to make a decision because the man will not even know whether he's going to be a candidate or a standard bearer. Well, that time has passed. He is now the standard bearer of the Liberian People's Party. That's the party that is carrying him as standard bearer. Now, if all of you, those of you who are talking about Joe Boakai being vice president to Tiawan Gongloe, it's now time for Unity Party to get into conversation with the Liberian People Party. So that Gongloe can be able to see it fit that Ome Boakai can be a vice president, because we need somebody with enterprise in mind, somebody who has with agility, somebody who has the impeccability to be at the top of the ticket. We don't want somebody who is old and cannot make decisions for himself. Someone who cannot contend with the problems of politics. Staying up all night, having meeting guests and staying in meetings and to, if this person is old, the person is old. So the only thing I can suggest is, if he goes as vice president to Tiawan Gongloe, definitely I'm telling you, it is going to be a good ticket. It means that you can be vice president. Joe Boakai or Joe Biden was vice president to Obama. It means you can be. So I'm going to support the idea that Joseph Boakai should be VP candidate to Tiawan Gongloe. It's time for us to discuss. That's the time has reached for us to discuss. Listen, those of you who are listening, some of you are saying, oh, why he's saying that? Oh, he respected Ome. Oh, why Ome? Why Ome? Who older than Tiawan Gongloe? Why he can be presidential candidate? Listen, we want the best for our country. We want the best for our country. And the best for our country is for us to post somebody who will change the trajectory of the country, where the country is headed now. Joseph Boakai cannot lead the country from there because he will not be in control. If you think that Mange was powerful, well, then you put Joseph Boakai there. We respect the old man. We from the Gongloe camp, we really, really do respect the old man. But again, the conversation will be between Unity Party and Liberian People's Party. I am not the one who's going to make that decision. And Councillor Gongloe will have a say. Maybe I'll participate in such meetings. Councillor Gongloe will have a say about what he wants or how he wants it. And the LPP and the Unity Party, the UP, will join and discuss and see the best way forward. Even Ome Boakai does not have to go as president or vice president. He can just be in the background and push the young people. Okay? We are looking for someone who can beat George Weah. We are looking for someone who, let me tell you something. Let me say this. I've said it before and nobody pick it up. I'll say it again. This political dynamics I'm going to be explaining to you. I want you to write it down. I want you to write it down. Because I told people Some people didn't believe me. I said Cummings was swimming with dangerous sharks. They didn't believe me. We'll see what happened to the CPP and the Cummings. But I'm not going to go there today. I'm not even going to be going there all the time. But this is the political dynamics I'm going to tell you people. I want you to write it down if possible. I want you to write it down as possible if you can. Okay? If Cummings becomes a runner-up against George Weah, write it down. If Cummings goes against George Weah in a runner-up, Nimba will vote for George Weah. Senator Prince Johnson will deliver Nimba to George Weah because he will not. Prince Johnson, that I know right now, he will not tell the Nimba to vote for Cummings. He will rather stay with the status quo. He would rather remain with the status quo. So when Alexander B. Cummings goes one-on-one with George Weah, we may not have the chance of removing George Weah. We might just lose in the runner-up because George Weah. And if Nimba is turned over to George Weah, plus the other counties that George Weah is going to win, George Weah is president for the second term. If number one, and if Alexander Cummings go against George Weah, Unity Party and all those guys from the Benani Uri belt, those who depend on Benani Uri for their little gain, and all of Unity Party people, they might not throw their weight behind Cummings because they have a few with Cummings right now. As a result of that, the opposition vote will be disturbed, will be split. And Joseph Boakai will likely say, anyone from Unity Party, you can vote for whoever you want to vote for. The same thing Cummings did when Joe Boakai went on runner-up with George Weah. Cummings the one that brought it. So if he goes runner-up with George Weah, Unity Party will not throw their weight behind Cummings. And that is a problem. So if George Weah is going to take Nimba County, with Prince Johnson joining him with the Nimba County, and the one of the largest political party, Unity Party will not throw its weight behind Cummings, where is the opportunity for us to beat George Weah in the second round? That means it's not possible. It means George Weah become president. If Joe Boakai goes against George Weah, Prince Johnson will deliver Nimba County to George Weah. It will be easier for Prince Johnson to do it. And they will listen to Prince Johnson. When Prince Johnson said, why you want to vote for Joe Boakai for the mayor or 12 president or vice president for 12 years? What you want to do? What you will do differently? They will listen to him. He will play his politics well. So Nimba will vote for George Weah. All the other counties that George Weah will win plus Nimba makes George Weah very thick. On top of that, Cummings will not throw away beyond Unity Party. Cummings will not throw away beyond Unity Party. Cummings will say, ANC, anyone you want to vote for, you can go ahead. We're not supporting any particular person. Because he did it last time, he can do it again. And if George Weah gets Nimba County plus other counties that he will win, and then the opposition vote is disturbed and divided, George Weah is president for second term. But take a careful look at Tiawan Gongloe. Let me give you the political dynamics of Tiawan Gongloe's success. If Tiawan Gongloe goes runner-up with George Weah, Nimba County will never vote for George Weah. They will give their vote to their son. Even Prince Johnson himself will not have the guts to tell the people of Nimba, say, our son going runner-up, but I want you to vote for George Weah. He will not say so. So that means Gongloe will win Nimba County plus the other county that he might win. But look at the political dynamics with the opposition. But Boakai had no problem with Tiawan Gongloe. Communists got no problem with Tiawan Gongloe. The two major political parties, including Liberty Party, that got no problem with Tiawan Gongloe. These parties will throw their weight beyond Gongloe because they feel okay, they feel fine, they feel cool being with Gongloe. He has not hurt them. He has not done anything bad to them. He is a pragmatic. He is a rule of law person. He's a lawyer. He's a human rights advocate. So he respects the rights of people. Therefore, and L is going to come in to support Tiawan Gongloe. Unity Party and the Joe Barker will support Tiawan Gongloe. Liberty Party and Darrell Dillon and Yombi Kanka, all of them will mobilize to get Tiawan Gongloe to remove George Weah from power. That makes George Weah a retired president. If you don't believe me and you vote for anybody else, and Joe Barker go on runner up with George Weah president. Cummings go runner up with George Weah president. Gongloe goes one-on-one with George Weah is retired and Gongloe is president. I want you to think about this. Don't make mistake. Let's give Tiawan Gongloe the opportunity to go runner up or beat George Weah in the first round, if possible. Well, I'm not a subscriber of one-time blow person in the Liberian politics because I have not seen it very lately. Unless somebody cheated, like, during the old elections where people, 300 people win, 300 people vote for 10,000 people for the register. So I don't want that kind of stuff. That's not what I want. So I don't believe that anybody can win directly or one time in the election. So I want to stay on that. I want to tell you on that. But just in case Tiawan Gongloe goes one-on-one, and I want you to think about it yourself. Think about it yourself. What right now between Joseph Barker and Cummings, it's not good right now. And if Cummings goes one-on-one with George Weah, Joe Barker will not pay attention to it. They already don't like Cummings already. So Cummings will be alone. Maybe we will be the one that will support him. Because Gongloe ain't got no issue beef with anybody. Gongloe ain't got no problem with anybody. He is a peaceful man. He respects everybody. He's willing tomorrow to defend anybody. But Joe Barker will not support Cummings. And he will not throw it way beyond Cummings. And as a result, what happened? George Weah is a second-term president. It means we just wasted our energy. We made George Weah president by appointing Cummings because he will not make it end. And on top of that, Prince Johnson will not tell Nimba to vote for Cummings. You can carry on and bring it down. Prince Johnson will not do that. He will tell Nimba people not vote for George Weah. It better we stay with the devil will know than the angel we have not seen. That's exactly what Prince Johnson will do. And Nimba will vote for George Weah, and then George Weah will become president because Cummings will not be able to beat him. The same problem with Joe Barker. Joe Barker go one-on-one with George Weah. They couldn't even win Lofa the other time. They couldn't even win Lofa. So I can't guarantee you that Lofa is going to vote for George or Vice President Barker in the numbers. I'm not even going to promise you that. I'm not even going to suggest that because he lost the other day. Maybe for himself they might vote for him, but there are strong people from CDC that are currently maneuvering in Lofa County, and they are all sons of Nimba County, of Lofa County. They will chip away votes. So even Joseph Barker does not have, he may not even win more than 50% in Lofa County. But let's assume he wins 50 or 60 or 70%. Let's say the whole Lofa vote for him. But Nimba not going to vote for him because Prince Johnson will not get Nimba to him. Prince Johnson will tell you, let's go vote for George Weah. We can vote for Barker. The man, in fact, Prince Johnson already started saying it. That Barker is old and can have no new idea. The other day when you were giving an interview. So Nimba kind of go for George Weah. And then Cummings too, because they don't like Cummings will reply them. He will fight a battle. You say, no, I'm not going to put my vote beyond that. And Cummings will what they call? Cummings will back out. But it cannot happen with Gongloe. The two people we're talking about, the Cummings, the Boakai, the people from Liberty Party, Yombli Kanga, Darrell Dillon, all of these people, how do you call the other man? Musa Belete, all of these people, they respect Gongloe. All of them respect Gongloe. Gongloe had not been in a Didi batting and before, so they respect him. Besides that, Gongloe is a peaceful man. He has not made anybody uncomfortable, like you just picking at people or you fighting with people. Of course, he fight against government, which is what he knows to do. If the government is trying to offend other people or try to jail people or try to do something that will hurt other people, Gongloe will definitely stand up. So he's good at fighting the government than trying to go out there to fight other people. So, but the dynamic is there is no way Prince Johnson will turn Nimba over to George Weah doing the runner-up because Nimba will not let it happen. Nimba will see their son. The opportunity for Nimba County to produce a president is right at their fingertip. Where Councillor Gongloe is going runner-up with George Weah, and Nimba is right at the fingertip to produce their first president of Liberia. Then Nimba said, no, we don't want Gongloe. We're going to be Prince Johnson to go to George Weah. No way, it's not going to happen. Nimba will vote for Gongloe in their numbers. I was predicting 65% the other day, but I'm telling you, Nimba might vote for George Weah in 90%. Because that's the first opportunity they're going to have for their child, for their son to come that close to becoming president. Then they'll leave it and say, when Prince Johnson said, we're going to go vote for George Weah. And listen to me. Gongloe got no problem with Oman Bwagai say, Gongloe will support you. All United Party people who want you to go and vote for Gongloe. Come in, get problem with Gongloe. You say, all ANC, if you are hearing my voice, I want you to vote for Gongloe. Liberty Party, everybody, Nyombi Kanga, Darrell Dillon, they will go to Bassa to campaign for Gongloe. They will go to Riverside to campaign. All of them, they like Gongloe because he don't make trouble with people. He is a peace-minded man. He is a rule of law man. He is a rule of justice man. They will love him. They will want him to win George Weah. So everybody will put their weight behind. That's how George Weah will be defeated in the runner-up. You put anybody beside Gongloe, George Weah is president for the second term. You put anybody go runner-up with George Weah beside Gongloe, George Weah is president. Nimba will vote for George Weah. George Weah will win the other counties. If Joseph VP Bwaka depend only on Lofa can vote 100% for Bwaka, it will not make him president. He needs the support of other opposition people. He needs the support of ANC. He needs the support of everybody else. And ANC people, they are many too. Don't overlook them. They will not support Joseph Bwaka. And the people of Liberia will be discouraged because the opposition will be divided against George Weah. They will say, oh, they're not even together, then we're going to vote for them. Let me go vote for George Weah. Because that division will scare our people away. But when Gongloe is going runner-up with George Weah, all of you who want George Weah out, you will celebrate. You will celebrate. Because George Weah will be retired. George Weah will be retired. Okay? Let me come here and bring my own brother and Dr. Banado. How you doing there?
I'm doing fine, Gibson.
Okay,
how are you doing?
That's good. Thank you for coming. I was just we're expecting Councillor Gongloe to be here, but I got information that he is very busy and with people, right. So he will not be able to come on today. But thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Talk about yourself a little bit. Who is Kwanando?
Well, Kwanando has been around for a little bit. I'm currently a resident of Atlanta, Georgia, where I've been for many years. I also, in terms of my own professional career, I've been in the area of education. I've taught all levels of education, high school, middle school, elementary, college as well. my own background is I have multiple career fields. I've got a background in agriculture and city planning, background in development studies, and then a background in education.
Hmm.
Um,
You are loaded, you know.
my own is
you are
so
loaded.
yeah. So that's basically I've been a community activist as well. Been involved with Liberian communities across the United States. Also had some, involvement with EULA in its early phase. And I've been a keen observer and an activist as it relates to politics in Liberia. So that's about it for me, Gibson. You know, I mean, there are many other things I can say, but
Yeah, at your age, at my age, we've done so many things. We don't even
so
talk about
exactly.
so, because when you start talking about it, you say, but wait, the other women can't bluff here or what?
I
But they
know.
don't know that you went through. Yeah.
Yes, I'm here to talk about it.
Yeah, no. We went through a lot of stages in life. I
Yeah.
believe you did as well. We
Yeah.
failed in some, we succeeded in some, and we
Yeah.
became strong in some. Yeah. But you came when I was talking about the probability. We'll talk about the other thing, the election of Councillor Gongloe in a little bit. But I was talking about the probability of Gongloe winning against George Weah. And I can see that if other opposition went one-on-one with George Weah, there could be the possibility of Prince Johnson turning over Nimba to George Weah. You think I'm miscalculating here?
I don't think you're miscalculating. I think one ought not to underestimate Prince Johnson and his very strong force in Nimba County. He's been elected, I think, 2 or 3 times. You know, he's well respected amongst Nimbayans. We shouldn't dismiss that.
Right.
And honor how 2023 is going to unfold if it comes to a point where Councillor Gongloe becomes a runner-up, becomes the person that goes against George Weah. I think it's a shoe-in for Councillor Gongloe. It's a shoe-in. I think I listened to some of your analysis, and I tend to agree that if other contestants, including Vice VP Boakai, Mr. Cummings, or whoever else, it may be problematic there. It may be a challenge. And that will depend, Brother Gibson, on whether in the campaigning phase or way before the campaigning phase, the opposition is able to maintain some kind of unity among themselves, and they can have an informal understanding that, look, whoever goes, we're going to throw our weight behind that person. But I think, as I said earlier, if it is Gongloe, it's a clear shot. And you said it well. Gongloe has a broad appeal. He appeals to everyone across the board. And you said it well. This man has not hurt anybody. He's helped. Most of his career has been helping people. Even people who are in opposition today or currently in the regime today, he helped them when they were on the other side.
Yes.
So I think they will remember. He's a man who relates to everybody, and he doesn't present a threat. The only threat he presents that everybody is afraid of is that he's vehemently opposed to corruption.
Right.
He's an anti-corruption person.
Has that anti-corruption person.
Yeah, he has that record. So that may only be the only thing they'd be afraid of him and say, oh, that man will go in there, it's going to be tough on us around here. But otherwise, his personal relationship is good with everybody, even those who are on the other side, who are in the opposition, the CDC campaign. Many of the guys who are in CDC today And when they were at loggerheads with the former Adam Salif, and they were going to jail left and right, it was Councillor Gongloe who went there and used his legal skills, used his law, his human rights advocacy thing, and helped many of them out. So yeah, I think, by and large, your analysis you're making, as I said, I caught a good bit of it. I think it will hold. It will hold in many ways if Gongloe is the one who emerges as the one that person who will go against. We are in if it comes to that. I know that the theory out there is that this may not be a one round kind of election.
Right.
But for me personally, I'm beginning to believe it can be a one round. It can be, I'm beginning to believe it can be a round. I do not see the kind of record that the current president can run on. The forces are stacked up against him. He doesn't. There's nowhere in his presidency that he can play clearly into and say, "I'm making success in the education area. This is what I have achieved in health. This is what I've achieved in this other area." Even though many a times they would narrate, from 1847, we are the only one who did. But when you go inside the record, if you research the record, for example, he made the claim the other day, he's the only one who building hospitals all over the country. And since 1847, he's built more hospitals than Totman, Talbot, Doe, Taylor, everybody combined. And that is completely untrue and unfactual. I mean, he's built a few hospitals. It doesn't, on the palm of my finger, doesn't exceed 5 or 6 good hospitals. But Talbot built more hospitals than him and clinics. Totman did.
But you relate some of the hospitals he met, instead of taking good care of, some of the hospitals he met, instead of taking good care of them, they are running down the ground like the Redemption Hospital. It's going down the ground.
Exactly. I mean, it's.
Somebody asked me a question. Let me. I want you to respond to this question. I want you to respond to this question on the screen. Can you see it? Let me read it for you. Say, George D. Massaquoi say, does the collective opposition have more votes than the ruling CDC right now? What do you say?
I would say yes. I would say yes. If you put all of the opposition, if you look at the 2017 NEC figures, and if you combine all of those figures, clearly the opposition has more votes than CDC. We saw that in 2020, especially when DeLong won back in, back to
the DeLong scenario is a great pointer to show that if the people want to vote against the ruling party, they can do that in their numbers.
You were breaking there, and I didn't quite get.
I said if the DeLong factor is a very good pointer, because if the people want to vote against George Weah, they can actually vote in their numbers against George Weah.
Yeah, I think we're breaking there. I don't know what it is.
Okay. There's another perspective I want you to talk about. Now, Gongloe is now candidate. Then what?
Okay. And of course, we are aware that last weekend, the councillor emerged from the Liberian People's Party, where he has been a founding member. He emerged as unopposed, overwhelmingly, elected, so to speak, as the standard bearer for the party, which also translates into him being a candidate, even though LEC, the normal rule is that not LEC, but NEC, the National Elections Commission, has to certify him as a candidate. But we know, obviously, he's already in the candidate mode. So what it means moving forward, he's left that phase of being an aspirant. He's now a candidate.
Right.
He can more forcefully talk about the national issues, and then people will look at him more. I mean, they've already looked at him seriously, but I think it increases more attention on him.
Right.
To talk about the national issues that he's always been talking about. Those people who weren't sure that Gongloe would have become a serious candidate, a standard bearer, who were sitting on the fence, for example, now can say, well, oh, this man, he's been elected by his party. He's now the standard bearer and candidate of the Liberians People's Party. So there's no need to hold back. Let's give him our moral support, financial support, whatever support they can give. I think the councillor, along with the friends of Gongloe who support him and Team Gongloe, the doors are all open for those people to join us now in the Gongloe movement and give their support, because this is a real candidate now. He's no longer an aspirant as he were in the last several months, but he's actually a candidate of a political party, Liberian People's Party.
Right.
One of the oldest parties around, but that has not been active for quite some time. He's been a founding member of the party, the likes of Sawyer, the late Dr. Sawyer, and so forth. So, it just takes him at a whole new level. And as I said, and I think in particular, those people who have been hesitant, who have been indecisive in terms of, do I really want to support this man? It's an opportunity now for them to really come around and say, this is the person we're looking for. This is the person we want to throw our support behind.
Somebody asked me a question the other day and said, Gibson, why Councillor Gongloe did not form his own party? Why did he go to LPP?
That's a good question. I think, and this says a lot about Councillor Gongloe. Number one, he has a spirit of loyalty.
Right.
I would say. Number two, he's an institution guy. I think for as long as I have known Gongloe, we're all schoolmates at the University of Liberia, classmates, and we did a lot of other things together. He's not the kind of guy who waver here and there. If he believes in the principles of the Liberian People's Party, and he stuck with the party, even though the party was not very active, but he's always had a loyalty to this party. It's the party that gave him his political education, so to speak. And he came in contact with many of the old political folks, as I said, Sawyer, Dr. Tipote, Famule. These were his mentors, and other people politically. So he hasn't turned his back on the party at all. I mean, as I say, it says a lot about him that he's consistent, he's loyal to an institution that he's part of, and he couldn't see himself, aligning or joining as we've seen in the Liberian political, jumping from here to there.
Yeah,
1 minute in the CDC.
Yeah. Jump from one political party to another.
From one political party to the other. That doesn't help our politics at all.
Right.
I mean, you believe in a set of values and principles of a party, try to stick with it, even though you may have some problems there internally, but you work towards resolving it. For me, I respect Gongloe on that level. That's why I think he hasn't run, because he had so many opportunities. This man has so many opportunities to become a member of any political party. But he decided not to. He said, well, I was a founding member of this party, so I would stick with the Liberian People Party no matter what. So I think that would be the reason why he hasn't gone.
He brought light to the LPP. Because LPP was, he brought a lot of light to LPP.
He did. That, I mean, he since Gongloe declared his intention to run, it's really giving LPP a whole new light, like you said. I mean, I totally agree with that because people just stop hearing about this party, even though it's been around very long
Yeah,
time.
it's been around very long. Yeah. And
Nobody, people had just written it off, saying, man, what is LPP? What kind of LPP? But since Councillor Gongloe declared his intention, you've seen some attention being paid to the party right now because of him, really, because of him.
yes. So why do you want George Weah to be replaced?
Well, clearly, and as everybody beginning to see, many Liberians had invested their hopes in George Weah, giving the background from which he came and giving his contributions he's made to the country, even through soccer. But we got to acknowledge that he made some good contributions when the country was going through so much war. Weah was one of those who took upon himself and made it his business to go everywhere Liberians were, refugee camps and all that. He did some real good things. So he ran, I think 2 or 3 times. They say 3 times is the charm. The people say, well, okay, let's give this young man a chance. Maybe he can make a difference. But he's failed the Liberian people on so many levels. I mean, we can see the current status of the country. I like to even zero in on the status of the young people who put Weah in power. I mean, look at the current prevailing condition of the young people in the country. There are more kids out of school than are in school. Many of the young people who graduated from the university, they have just lingered. They have no job. The youth unemployment rate is so very high. I mean, I can't off the top of my head cite the statistics, but it's one of the highest in the region. I mean, you're talking about versus other countries in just West Africa. High youth unemployment rate, high out of school rate. I mean, educationally, our children are not going to school. They're not in school at all. Many of our kids. And it's sad for the country because this is a youthful generation that we're supposed to be preparing for the future. But not much investment going into education, for example. The more money being allocated to other institutions in the country. For example, the presidency where the roguish and sanctioned McGill was. He had more money than the Ministry of Education that's supposed to be preparing the next generation of that country. The so-called Executive Protection Service that provide presidential detail and security for the president got more money than the Ministry of Education. I mean, what kind of country is this? If historically now, there are more people of the older population between 45 onwards who are more educated than the current generation of 12 to 35 years old. I mean, it's almost like the inverse. I mean, for most countries experiencing development or progress, you find more people in the younger generation that are going to school and being prepared. But it's unlike the case of Liberia. And this is really a tragedy in the country. It's a tragedy. That has not done well in that area. For just, as I say, I'm just focusing on young people. I don't even want to talk about the other things going on.
Or like even the healthcare system. I mean, people go right in the hospital and die there from diseases, sickness that can be cured.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know if you don't. I don't know what really George Weah is focused on. What is he really focused on? I don't really know.
Precisely. What is he focused on? Because normally any regime or any president would say, well, I'll take 4 or 5 issues that I will work on.
Yeah.
Like Gongloe has laid out a 10-point agenda of things he wants to do. And out of that 10-point agenda, there are 3 or 4 that stands out there at the top: the rule of law, fighting corruption,
Yes.
education, and the young people in our country. Those are
Right.
things he frequently talks. But Josh, we have no sense of where, what is the direction of the, what exactly is he? We were thinking he would have defined himself with the young people, since it's the young people who put him into power.
Somebody says George Weah is focused on the role.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because
Yeah.
If you look at what is happening, even Ellen built more roads than we can imagine. But road alone, okay, let's assume that the man is focused on roads. But that's not the only thing that is affecting the country. We got the health system, the education system is down. All of those things are down. So you build the roads, and the people are all illiterate, are not educated, or they're not getting quality education. Or you build the roads, and people go to hospital and they die from diseases that can be cured. So these are things that really bother the country. I mean, rule of law. People appear dead in the street. So my wife was just showing me a body of somebody a lady who was pregnant, and they killed her in the street. I mean, how can, and nothing comes out of those things? All of the people that have been dead, I mean, Dr. Doe, this is something that I really didn't like. How can people just appear dead in the street, and the security does not arrest anybody? Nobody has been. 4 auditors have been killed in our country. 4 auditors, not a single suspect arrested. So what are those things? What are his priorities? I mean, I just don't think he needs to be gone.
Yeah, I mean, we can't afford to have reward with a second term, because, I mean, just like you said, Brother Gibson, it's if that particular situation you cite with the security, there's a breakdown in the rule of law in the country. I mean, look at all of these deaths we have experienced in the last 3 to 4 years. Like you said, what has the security done? Even when they say they are investigating a situation, you never hear of a solid report that comes from there, or no culprits are arrested.
Right.
Even per interest. And the situation, they say bro, after 2-3 weeks, people talk about saying, just die down. Nobody hears about these things. I mean, it's just year in, year out. People are dying mysteriously. Bodies being found on the street.
Yeah.
Have to talk. Yeah, rape in the country. How women are young girls raped.
Yeah.
Again, the question you pose. I mean, what exactly are they prioritizing? I don't see what we has prioritizing.
I don't know. Even the role we're talking about, Ellen built a lot of roles as well. I mean, we all need roles. So if that is one plus we can give you, that's fine. But this country cannot be a one event or one issue country where because you build road, then you will deserve the second term. I don't think that should be our focus in the country. But let me ask you one more question before we get out of here.
Okay.
What is that one thing that you think Nimba will not vote for Tiawan Gongloe? Is there anything you think about?
I like that question, Jeru. Nimba is blessed to have produced a very fine son.
Yes.
In Council.
Always said that.
They've produced,
always said that.
Yeah, they have produced many fine sons, but this time around, I think he's one of the blessings that have come from Nimba. And I think, as you said earlier, it's an opportunity. It's almost like a gift. I say a gift for some of us who are Christians. We say it's a gift from God, because Tiawan has all the right qualities. His humility, his competence, his character. his vision. He's a visionary. I mean, so far, I think in this race, he's about the only person who has clearly provided a roadmap as to what he will do when he gets into that office. First 100 days, go after the rule of law, ensuring that nobody interferes with the police and the judiciary.
Yes.
Put in place a system to fight corruption. To fight, it's not just talking, but you're fighting corruption. The man has said he would declare his assets. He will publish his assets. All those who would make up the cabinet in his office, they will be required to do so. We have regular audits, lifestyle audits. You say you minister today, tomorrow, 3 months time, you're building some kind of $250,000 mansion, all that type of thing. But back to Nimba has, and we are not being ethnic yet, but Nimba has the best chance this point in time.
This is the time. If Nimba misses this time, I don't know what other time they expect to get it.
Yes, I agree. It's time. So, our Nimba brothers and sisters really have to throw their support behind Gongloe, no matter what. And I would say it very bluntly, the era of Prince Johnson is over. Prince Johnson is not the future of this country. He's not the future of Liberia. The future of Liberia is with Gongloe.
It's in Gongloe. And I think Nimba know. But I tell people when campaign starts, even though Prince Johnson is unpredictable, but Prince Johnson will campaign for us.
Yeah, you will come around.
You will campaign for because there's no option. I don't see how Nimba can come so this close to producing the first civilized, good, integrated president for Liberia to benefit from. And they'll say, no, we probably want to go with Prince Johnson to go to George Weah. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
And Dixon B. Morrissey, building of roads are World Bank funded projects that's happening globally in most of the third world countries. So let's be clear about this, especially for those of us who think that it is purely George Weah personal funds that he is using. Obviously, Dixon, you're right. We are IMF, African Development Bank are the one that are funding these roles. Our people don't understand. They don't understand that the government of Liberia is not paying money for that. They're not sponsoring these roles. It's something. Even if Dr. Doe go there today as president, that same money will still come to Dr. Doe. It doesn't matter whether it was George Weah or anybody. So, but you know that people really think that it is George Weah who is spending his money, or it is the Liberian government money that they are spending. It is by George Weah instruction, correct? I think people are still thinking that way.
People think that way. You actually, because what we are then have done very well is to personalize development in the country. Look at what the roguish Nathaniel McGill was doing, taking the people's resources, going all around, setting up scholarship funds, and making it to appear that was his own money or we are money. So like you said, and like that Cllr comment you were reading, these are all internationally World Bank, African Development Bank supported projects, especially road projects. Are heavily financed by the World Bank and African Development Bank. But some of our people think, and they've made it that way. Every time they go, we always say, this is my project or it's me doing this. They run with, when the real fact is that these projects are being financed internationally. So we don't need to run development like that. I mean, I happen to be a development specialist myself. You don't run development where you personalize public projects, developments, and say
I think they're going to use it for campaign this time. That George Weah trick, or he's going to use roles as campaign. But we were also,
Yeah.
we'll contrast that. Tell the people the
Yeah.
role you play. Even if you leave and Gongloe became president, the people will still send that same money to build roads.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So, well,
Yeah.
I'd like to take your parting words so that we can. I will set up. The Councilor Gongloe was going to be here, but I'm told he's meeting some people at his house. So
Yeah.
he will not be here tonight. So I will get to him tomorrow, maybe when he come here, and then we'll talk about that.
I just want to thank you very much, Gibson, for putting this show together. I've occasionally followed you. I think you do a very excellent job reaching many of our people, here in the diaspora and at home. And I just want to take this opportunity as well to make a special appeal to our fellow Liberians, to our fellow compatriots, that 2023 is so critical. It's so critical, and the decision we'll make will determine the kind of future we will have. If for nothing else, let's support Councillor Tiawan Saye Gongloe. He is the best. And those who are interested in areas, yeah, you got Gongloe diaspora, you got friends of Gongloe, so many. You to join this team, man, and give your support to Councillor Gongloe.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr.
inviting
Doe.
me.
One of the strong supporters and sponsor of Gongloe for President campaign. He's one of the best we have. Thank you very much. We appreciate your cool hair.
Thank you, Gibson. Thank you very much. Please continue the good work.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So that was Dr. Doe. So we want to say, those of you who participated in the show today, we want to say thank you. I got some comments I could have read, but I'm out of time. So we'll read your comments next tomorrow. Okay. I just want to say, Heron Bajibo made a very interesting comment. And this is the comment that he wrote. Even ninth grade students cannot define now. Okay? So in other words, what Brother Henry Bajibo is saying, well, if you don't put emphasis on the schools, if you don't place emphasis on quality education, emphasis on how our students can develop their capacity, most definitely you will find deficiencies in our education system. We need an education system that will place premium on quality education, because it is good to do mass education, but if the mass education, people are going to school and coming back and cannot write a fitting letter, then I have a problem. Then we have a problem. Like I gave you an example. The current situation at the University of Liberia is an issue, because I remember there were 800 students. I mean, not university, I mean at the high school level. 800 students, 8,000 students took the University of Liberia test and all failed. So the question that came, for me, I see it as administrative, not just, I see it as administrative, because if the high schools are not teaching what the university is testing for exam, that to me does not synchronize our education process. Our education process should be synchronized. For example, the curriculum that is developed. I remember I took part in the after the war, the first curriculum development that took place. I was one of the members, one of the teachers who actually I was a coordinator for a school system, and I participated. I was one of the youngest, in fact, in our particular room. We wrote the first curriculum for the high schools, for the elementary schools, for junior high schools, right after the war, because right after the war, there was no curriculum. All schools were teaching anything they saw. So we had a conference, we had our conference meetings at the CWA several times, and we came up with a curriculum from elementary to junior high to high school. We did a draft, and the Minister of Education at the time sent it to Dr. Sawyer. And I believe Dr. Sawyer made his comment and returned it to the ministry, and the ministry was able to produce. I did not participate in the final draft, but the first draft that was sent to the president, I was part of it. So basically, the problem on top, what I'm saying this is the curriculum that is developed at the level of the high school, it should be able to commensurate with the exam that is being tested, that exam that is given to students to enter the university. So the university examination should take into account what is taught at the high school level. You cannot give exam of something that is not part of the curriculum at the university level, at the high school level. So let me give you a practical example, because I came here I was a teacher here from 2009 to 2014. So I know how the American people, they develop their curriculum and how they commensurate with. So if you were leaving the middle school and going to the high school, that it's not difficult, because you will be in the middle school and they will teach you the first year of high school materials. So when you are in the 8th grade, you will begin to start learning 9th grade materials. So by the time you enter to 9th grade, you're not strange to it. By the time when you enter 11th grade, 12th grade, they start teaching you pre-college lesson. So by the time you graduate from high school, when they give you a test at the university or at the college, you're not going to fail, because that's exactly what they were teaching you at the high school level. But in our system, and when Councillor Gongloe becomes president, and I will suggest that he choose a man like Dr. Doe to handle his education ministry, or anybody who is education minister for that matter. We would like to make a suggestion that the curriculum should commensurate. I mean, should be interwoven. So if I'm coming from a high school and you give me a test to enter a university of Liberia, I should be able to pass. But if the university is giving tests and 8,500 people who took the test and everybody failed, not a single person that passed the test, it's administrative. It's not just academic, it's administrative. Because the administrators are not synchronizing the curriculum. When it's happening like the current administration is not putting more premium on education. They're not paying attention to it, because it's keep happening and happening. So if you are a president of Liberia, you need to call your minister of education right now and ask what's going on. What kind of test that the university gave that the high school student cannot pass? You'll bring the test. Let me see. And can't tell me about it. Why did you guys you don't teach quadratic? I mean, I just say something. You don't teach quadratic equation in high school. So how come you gave a quadratic equation test or exam to the student? What do you expect them to pass? So okay. So this question, what does it? It's not possible. It's not possible that I'm in the office. I'll call you back.
I know, but do you have my gaming PC?
Yes. I want the radio. I'll call you back. So if I don't expect the president to go through tests and go through one by one. No president can do that. But that's why you set up committees to look at this. Set up a committee, including the agriculture and the education minister, and say, hey, look, I want to see a result for this. We can't have students from high school taking the 8,000 students, 8,500 students taking tests, and all of them fill in the university. If the test is actually in line with the curriculum, why are they failing? Why is the question? Is it a question that they are given? Or is it the way they corrected the test? Or is somebody in there who is making sure that students fail? So we want to investigate all of this stuff, and that's why you put premium on education. Now we talk about Councillor Gongloe. One of the things he raised was about agriculture, and he's going to make sure he got one of the 10 points development plan that he has, 10-point administrative plan that he has. In the first 100 days, he's thinking about agriculture. How do we pay attention to the agriculture? All of these things we discuss them. Right now, he is a candidate, so we'll be discussing the 10 points. I will have Dr. Doe come back. I will have some people like Joe Batua come back. I will have other people come back. Joe Merlin Bird. I will have Joe Mullenberg. All these guys, I will have them come. Kumba, and we'll discuss the 10 points so that you understand what the 10 points are for. But for now, I want to say thank you for coming today. Kana Ziele say we should wait for George Weah's second term. All right. Okay. All right. I mean, everybody has a right to speak, right? Yeah. Everybody has a right to speak. But trust me, Kana, you are on your own. Okay? You are on your own. Kana, you are on your own. We're not waiting for George Weah. Trust me. George Weah will be kicked out of office 2023 with Councillor Gongloe replacing him. Take this from me. Trust me on this. The calculation that is being done and the time we're going to put into that, Councillor Gongloe will kick George Weah out of office. With that, I want to say thank you, guys. I am so busy. I've been here for 2 hours and plus. So I'm going to stop thus far, and then I will be here tomorrow. I'll be with you guys tomorrow. Okay? Another guest of ours will be here tomorrow, so please don't go anywhere.
Highly spiritual.
Mansa, mi go mu agodi dansa. Nasa nije wa mi nimda meba. Zaodo wa mi nimda meba o. Yako imedie dia. Mansa mi naisi kwa suwa mi bae. Zakrona duzu akosha unika Yepeti yeni Yepenu mediri Yemza Yemzo Yunamuna yenza Unimuze ni jenaba Ekofe ubusu ya fonyi nabra Eni obi ya shakone bia Zame umidafu bia mawasi ya gumi Wobi a baby, so I drew me a mommy water me. I'm proud of Zana Nije, it's in Mumba Munsamami Mumbruchini and Aminte Momensian Sunaminte Bomizengu, Kawa Bomizengu Oh, media, Mansami Nice, Basu Amiba. Zakrona duzu akosha unika Yepeti yeni Yepenu mediri Yako imedie dia Mansa minaisi kwa suwa mibae Zakrona duzu akosha unika Yepeti yeni Yepenu mediri Nobani obajo Yamo nyanyo ake bani obajo Jaje no fiane jaje Yamo nyanyo ake bani obajo Bani obajo Yamo nyanyo ake bani obajo Yake ameli yake wonje Omeno mechili Cause I cry, you better, you better, you buy, you better, ah. dia. Mansa minazi kwa suwa mi bae. Zakrona duzu akosha unika. Yepeti yeni. Yepe nume didi. Nakoi me dia. Mansa minazi kwa suwa mi bae. Zakrona duzu akosha unika. Yepeti yeni. Yepe nume